choosing the greatest movies of all time is not an easy task. Most often discussed are directing, acting, plot, and cinematography. More general criteria include depth of thinking, emotional impact, authenticity in relation to what is being depicted, wit or cleverness of the writing, and originality. IMDb, Internet Movie Database, an online database of information related to films, television series, home videos, video games, and streaming content online, compiled a list of the 7 greatest movies as rated by its more than 83 million registered users. 1. The Dark Knight 2008. A 2008 superhero film directed by Christopher Nolan from a screenplay he co-wrote with his brother Jonathan. This is based on the DC Comics superhero, Batman, and is the sequel to Batman Begins, 2005. It is the second installment in the Dark Knight trilogy. The plot follows the vigilante Batman, Police Lieutenant James Gordon, and District Attorney Harvey Dent, who form an alliance to dismantle organized crime in Gotham City. The Dark Knight received acclaim for its mature tone and themes, visual style, and performances, particularly that of Ledger, who received many posthumous awards including Academy, BAFTA, and Golden Globe Awards for Best Supporting Actor, making The Dark Knight the first comic book film to receive major industry awards. It broke several box office records and became the highest-grossing 2008 film, the 4th highest-grossing film of its time, and the highest-grossing superhero film. It is considered the blueprint for modern superhero films, particularly for its rejection of a typical comic book film style in favor of a crime film that features comic book characters. 2. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, 2001. This is a 2001 epic fantasy adventure film directed by Peter Jackson based on the 1954 The Fellowship of the Ring, the first volume of the novel The Lord of the Rings, by J.R.R. Tolkien. The film is the first installment in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It features an ensemble cast including Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Liv Tyler, Viggo Mortensen, Sean Astin, Cate Blanchett, John Rhys-Davies, Billy Boyd, Dominic Monaghan, Orlando Bloom, Christopher Lee, Hugo Weaving, Sean Bean, Ian Holm, and Andy Serkis. It premiered on December 10, 2001 at the Odeon Leicester Square in London and was then released on December 19 of that year in the United States and on December 20 in New Zealand. The film was acclaimed by critics and fans alike, who considered it to be a landmark in filmmaking and an achievement in the fantasy film genre. It grossed over $880 million worldwide in its initial release, making it the second highest-grossing film of 2001 and the 5th highest-grossing film of all time at the time of its release. The film received numerous accolades. At the 74th Academy Awards, it was nominated for 13 awards, including Best Picture, winning for Best Cinematography, Best Makeup, Best Original Score, and Best Visual Effects. 3. Pulp Fiction, 1994. Written and directed by Quentin Tarantino and starring John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, Tim Roth, Ving Rhames, and Uma Thurman, it tells several stories of crime in Los Angeles, California. The title refers to the pulp magazines and hard-boiled crime novels popular during the mid-20th century, known for their graphic violence and punchy dialogue. Pulp Fiction won the Palme d'Or at the 1994 Cannes Film Festival and was a major critical and commercial success. It was nominated for 7 awards at the 67th Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and won Best Original Screenplay. Pulp Fiction is widely regarded as Tarantino's masterpiece, with particular praise for its screenwriting. It is often considered a cultural watershed, influencing films and other media that adopted elements of its style. The cast was also widely praised, with Travolta, Thurman, and Jackson earning particular acclaim. 4. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, 2003. This is an epic fantasy adventure film directed by Peter Jackson based on 1955's The Return of the King, the 3rd volume of the novel The Lord of the Rings, by J.R.R. Tolkien. It is the sequel to 2002's The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers and the final installment in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It grossed over $1.1 billion worldwide, making it the highest-grossing film of 2003 and the second highest-grossing film of all time at the time of its release, as well as the highest-grossing film released by New Line Cinema. Like the other films in the trilogy, The Return of the King is widely recognized as one of the greatest and most influential films ever made. The film received numerous accolades. At the 76th Academy Awards, it won all 11 awards for which it was nominated, including Best Picture, tying with 1959's Ben-Hur and 1997's Titanic as the movie with the most Academy Award wins. 5. Schindler's List, 1993. Directed and produced by Steven Spielberg and written by Steven Zaillian, it is based on the 1982 novel Schindler's Ark, by Australian novelist Thomas Keneally. The film follows Oskar Schindler, a German industrialist who saved more than 1,000 mostly Polish Jewish refugees from the Holocaust by employing them in his factories during World War II. It stars Liam Neeson as Schindler, Ralph Fiennes as SS officer Amon Goth, and Ben Kingsley as Schindler's Jewish accountant, Itzhak Stern. Often listed among the greatest films ever made, the film received universal acclaim for its tone, acting, particularly by Neeson, Fiennes, and Kingsley, atmosphere, and Spielberg's direction. It was also a box office success, earning $322 million worldwide on a $22 million budget. Was nominated for 12 Academy Awards, and won 7, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Original Score. The film won numerous other awards, including 7 BAFTAs and 3 Golden Globe Awards. 6. 12 Angry Men, 1957. This is an American courtroom drama film directed by Sidney Lumet which tells the story of a jury of 12 men as they deliberate the conviction or acquittal of a teenager charged with murder. It stars Henry Fonda, Lee J. Cobb, Ed Begley, E. G. Marshall, and Jack Warden and explores many techniques of consensus building and the difficulties encountered in the process among this group of men, whose range of personalities adds to the intensity and conflict. The film was selected as the second-best courtroom drama ever after 1962's To Kill a Mockingbird by the American Film Institute for their AFI's 10 Top 10 list. 7. The Godfather, Part 2, 1974. The Godfather, Part 2 is an American epic crime film produced and directed by Francis Ford Coppola. The film is partially based on the 1969 novel The Godfather, by Mario Puzo, who co-wrote the screenplay with Coppola. Part 2 serves as both a sequel and a prequel to the 1972 film The Godfather, presenting parallel dramas. The film was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and became the first sequel to win Best Picture. Its 6 Oscar wins also included Best Director for Coppola, Best Supporting Actor for De Niro, and Best Adapted Screenplay for Coppola and Puzo. Pacino won Best Actor at the BAFTAs and was nominated at the Oscars. Like its predecessor, Part 2 remains a highly influential film, especially in the gangster genre. It is considered to be one of the greatest films of all time, as well as a rare example of a sequel that may be superior to its predecessor.